An emergency fund is the single most powerful thing you can build with money. Not stocks, not crypto, not a side hustle. A boring, quiet pile of cash sitting in a savings account with your name on it. Because when life punches you in the face, cash is what punches back. A flat tire, a surprise vet bill, a job that disappears on a Tuesday morning. Most people meet those moments with a credit card and a knot in their stomach. You are not going to be most people. Today we are building your emergency fund from absolute zero. No shame, no lectures, no complicated math. Just a simple path from an empty account to a real safety net. Grab a drink, get comfortable, and let's talk about how to finally sleep at night. First, let's define what an emergency fund actually is, because a lot of people get this wrong. An emergency fund is money set aside for real, unexpected, urgent expenses only. It is not a vacation fund, a new phone fund, or a cute jacket on sale fund. It is money that protects you from debt when life goes sideways. Think broken car, broken tooth, broken furnace, or a broken paycheck. If you would swipe a credit card in a panic without it, that is exactly what it covers. Everything else belongs in a different savings bucket entirely. Keeping that line clear is what makes the fund actually work. Now let's talk about the goal, because save for emergencies is way too vague. Your first target is not 3 months of expenses. It is not 6 months of expenses. Your first target is $1,000. That is it. $1,000 is your starter emergency fund, and it covers most small crises in real life. Flat tire, urgent care visit, a plane ticket home, a broken laptop for work. Studies from the Federal Reserve show that about a third of adults could not cover a $400 surprise with cash. If you have $1,000 sitting in savings, you are already ahead of a huge chunk of the country. So step 1 is simple: get to 1,000 as fast as you possibly can. Once you hit it, you will feel something you have not felt in a long time. Calm. Then, and only then, we start climbing toward the bigger goal. The full emergency fund is 3 to 6 months of your basic living expenses. Basic means rent, utilities, groceries, insurance, transportation, and minimum debt payments. Not restaurants, not streaming stacks, not shopping trips. Add up those bare bones numbers for 1 month, then multiply. Let's say your basic month is $2,500. 3 months means $7,500 in the bank. 6 months means $15,000 in the bank. That number can feel scary, so we do not stare at it all at once. We break it into tiny, boring, winnable steps. Before we save $1, we need to know where your dollars are actually going. Pull up your bank app and look at the last 30 days of spending. Do not judge yourself. Just observe like a scientist studying a very tired animal. Group your spending into 3 buckets: needs, wants, and what was I thinking. Needs are rent, food, transport, insurance, and minimum bill payments. Wants are the fun stuff you chose on purpose and actually enjoyed. The 3rd bucket is the sneaky spending you barely remember agreeing to. That 3rd bucket is where your emergency fund is hiding right now. Let's talk about money leaks, because this is where most of your first 1,000 will come from. The average person spends about $270 a month on subscriptions. Streaming, apps, cloud storage, gym memberships, delivery clubs, and things you signed up for during a free trial in 2022. Cancel just 3 at $15 each, and you free up $45 a month. That is $540 a year from doing basically nothing. Look at fruit delivery next, because those fees are brutal. A $12 burrito becomes a $19 burrito after fees and tip. 2 orders a week is $56 extra dollars, or about $672 a year. Cook at home 2 extra nights a week and you fund almost 70% of your starter emergency fund. None of this requires a raise, a new job, or a spreadsheet. It just requires paying attention for one honest afternoon. Now let's set up the account itself, because this part matters more than people think. Your emergency fund should not live in your regular checking account. If it sits next to your rent money, you will spend it on pizza by accident. Open a separate high-yield savings account at an online bank. These accounts pay real interest, sometimes around 4% a year, while your big bank pays almost nothing. On a $10,000 balance, that is roughly $400 a year in free money. Give the account a name inside the app, like Do Not Touch or Future Me Fund. Names sound silly, but your brain listens. You are much less likely to raid an account called Do Not Touch for takeout on a Thursday night. Next, we automate, because willpower is a terrible savings plan. Set up an automatic transfer from checking to savings the day after payday. Start with an amount so small it feels almost embarrassing. $25 a week is fine. $50 a week is great. Even $10 a week is a real start if that is where you are. $10 a week is $520 a year without lifting a finger again. The point is not the number, it is the habit that runs on autopilot. You want saving to happen before you even see the money. Because if it hits your checking account first, it always finds a reason to leave. Now let's make that number bigger, without pretending your life is a spreadsheet. Try a no-spend week once a month on non-essentials. No takeout, no online shopping, no impulse Target runs. Most people save between $100 and $200 in a single no-spend week. Do that once a month, and you can stack over $1,000 a year on top of your automatic savings. Try the 24-hour rule for any non-essential purchase over $50. You put it in the cart, close the app, and wait a full day before buying. About 70% of the time, the urge quietly disappears. Every time it disappears, you move that money straight to your emergency fund. You are not depriving yourself. You are just outsmarting the version of you that shops when tired. Let's talk about extra income, because saving alone has a ceiling. Look at your closet, your garage, and that one drawer full of old electronics. The average household has around $300 to $500 of unused stuff they could sell online this month. That single afternoon of listing things can push you past your first $1,000 almost instantly. Then think about small, boring income sources you already have access to. Overtime hours, freelance gigs, dog walking, tutoring, delivery driving on a Saturday. Even one extra shift a week at $20 an hour for 4 hours is $80. $80 a week is $4,160 a year, straight into savings. You do not need a business empire. You just need a few months of focus to get the fund built. Now let's handle the biggest question people ask me. Leo, should I save or pay off debt first? Here is the simple rule. Build your $1,000 starter fund first, no matter what. Then attack high-interest debt hard, especially credit cards charging 20% or more. Once that ugly debt is gone, come back and build the full 3 to 6 months. Why in that order? Because without any savings, one flat tire sends you deeper into debt on the same card you are trying to pay off. That $1,000 is a wall between you and the debt spiral. It buys you options, and options are what broke feels like it does not have. Let's talk about where not to keep your emergency fund, because this trips people up. Not in stocks. Not in crypto. Not in your cousin's business idea. Not locked in a 1-year CD you cannot touch. None in your checking account where it gets spent by accident. The emergency fund's job is to be boring, safe, and instantly available. You want to be able to move it to checking within 1 business day. A high-yield savings account at a reputable insured bank is the sweet spot. You will not get rich on it, and that is completely the point. This money is insurance, not an investment. Now let's talk about the mindset shift, because tactics only work if your head is in the game. Most people think saving is about restriction. It is actually about freedom. Every dollar in your emergency fund is a dollar that says no to a bad boss, a bad landlord, or a bad situation. It is the difference between choosing your life and being pushed around by it. When you have 3 months of expenses saved, your whole nervous system changes. You stop flinching when your card gets declined for 2 seconds at the pump. You stop dreading the mail. You start making decisions from a calm place instead of a panicked one. That is what we are really building here. Peace of mind, dressed up as a bank balance. Let's talk about setbacks, because they are coming and that is okay. You will save for 3 months, and then your car will break down. You will use part of the fund and it will feel like you failed. You did not fail. That is literally what the fund is for. Using your emergency fund on an actual emergency is a win, not a loss. You avoided a credit card, you avoided a loan, you avoided the debt spiral. You just refill the bucket and keep going. Same automatic transfer, same quiet habit. Progress in personal finance is never a straight line. It looks like stairs, sometimes with a step or two backward before you climb again. Let's build a simple 90-day plan you can start tomorrow morning. Day 1, open a separate high-yield savings account online. Day 2, cancel 3 subscriptions you do not really use. Day 3, set up an automatic weekly transfer even if it is only $20. Week 1, list 5 unused items online and sell them. Week 2, do your first no-spend week on non-essentials. Week 3, pack lunch 4 days out of 5. Month 2, pick up 1 extra income source, even a small one. Month 3, check the balance and celebrate, because it will surprise you. 90 days of small moves easily gets most people to that first $1,000. From there, the second 1,000 feels almost automatic. Let me give you the honest truth before we wrap up. You do not need a bigger paycheck to start. You do not need to be good at math. You do not need to be the kind of person who just gets money. You only need to decide that future you deserves a soft landing. Then you set up 1 boring account, 1 boring transfer, and 1 small habit at a time. 6 months from now, that quiet pile of cash will be the most valuable thing you own. Not because of the number, but because of the choices it gives you back. That is what an emergency fund really is. It is not just money. It is a promise you make to yourself that the next hard moment will not knock you all the way down. You have got this, and I am proud of you for even watching this far. If this helped you, save it, share it with one person who needs it, and I will see you in the next one.